Today, we're going to tackle one of the most important things you can have in your home, a first aid kit. We'll get into the 12 absolute must-have items plus 5 pro tips to make sure it's always ready to go.
So let's picture this. A kid takes a tumble and scrapes a knee. Or, a big storm rolls through and knocks out the power. We've all been there, right? That frantic feeling of not having what you need right when you need it? Well, we can totally avoid that.
And that's just it, isn't it? Emergencies don't schedule an appointment. But here's the good news. Getting prepared is way easier than you think. It really all starts with one single, well-organized kit.
Okay, so obviously we're talking about a first aid kit, but I want us to completely rethink what that means. It's not just for boo-boos. The best kind of kit, and this is what experts from places like WebMD point out, is really a two-in-one deal. On one hand, yeah, it's for the everyday cuts and scrapes, but on the other hand, it's your go-to resource for bigger stuff, like a power outage or a severe storm.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to roll up our sleeves and build this kit together. We'll break down the essentials that experts at WebMD and the Mayo Clinic say you need to cover both of those bases, the medical stuff and the household emergencies.
First things first, let's cover the absolute basics for the stuff that happens all the time. The cuts, scrapes, splinters, and minor burns that always seem to happen when you least expect them.
Think of these items like a little system that keeps a minor problem from turning into a major one. It's kind of like a 3-step rescue mission. You clean the cut with an antiseptic wipe, you prevent infection with some antibiotic ointment, and then you protect it with the right-sized bandage. Simple, right? Fast and super effective.
Okay, next up, we're moving from just treating injuries to actually managing symptoms and keeping an eye on your family's health. This is where your kit starts to feel more like a mini health command center for your home. Having a thermometer is so important. A fever is often the very first signal your body sends that something's up. A good digital thermometer gives you a quick, accurate answer so you can decide what to do next, whether that's just rest or maybe calling a doctor.
And this right here, this is basically your kit's own little pharmacy. Having these basics on hand means you can handle a surprise headache, a sudden allergic reaction, or an upset stomach right away. No more late-night runs to the drugstore. It's all about immediate relief.
Now, this part is absolutely critical. This is where you have to customize. The Red Cross is really clear on this. You need at least a 7-day supply of any personal prescriptions. If there's an emergency and you can't get to a pharmacy, this is a lifesaver. It's totally non-negotiable.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about the other half of our 2-in-1 kit. These are the tools you're going to be so glad you have when the lights go out and you need to stay safe, warm, and connected.
Just think about it for a second. A flashlight with extra batteries gives you light and safety. A hand crank radio? That's your lifeline to emergency updates. No power grid needed. And those shiny foil blankets? They look simple, but they're amazing at trapping body heat. And of course, a portable charger keeps your phone, your link to everyone, alive.
So we've got our essential supplies all laid out. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about how to level up from a basic box of stuff to a whole system of kits that's perfectly tailored for your life.
Because let's be real, a one-size-fits-all kit just doesn't cut it. As Pro Trainings points out, what makes a kit truly great is how it's customized for you, your family, and where you live. A kit in your car should have things for a roadside breakdown. A hiking kit needs to be lightweight but still packed for things like sprains or blisters. And if you have kids, you'll want children's versions of medicines, and trust me, a few fun, colorful bandages can make a scary moment just a little bit better.
Building the kit is a huge first step, so pat yourself on the back for that. But keeping it maintained, that's the real game changer. So let's cover 5 simple tips to make sure your kit is always ready.
Think of this as your kit's maintenance plan. It's a living thing, not something you just throw in a closet and forget about. The key is to make it a habit. Set a reminder on your phone for every 6 months. Go through it, toss anything that's expired, and, this is crucial, the second you use something, replace it. That way, it's always at 100%.
And if you're wondering why checking those dates is such a big deal, well, the FDA spells it out pretty clearly. It's not just that things might not work as well. They can actually become risky. Adhesives on bandages can fail, sterile packaging can break down, and some medicines can even change chemically. It's a safety thing, for sure.
This really gets to the heart of it. A first aid kit is so much more than just a box of supplies. Having it ready and maintained, it changes things. It lets you swap that what-if anxiety for some I've got this confidence. It's knowing you have the tools to take care of the people you love.
So the takeaway from this explainer is really a call to action. Whether you start by buying a pre-made kit you can add to, or you gather the items yourself, just taking that first step today, that's an investment in your safety and your peace of mind. And that is your first aid kit explained.